What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and in this video we're discussing Big Ramy. We have a sighting. Is he small right now or not? Is Roelly Winklaar competing in 2022? His coach reveals what went wrong last year, plus when and if he's competing this year. Keone Pearson shredded glutes at 5.5 weeks out. James Hollingshead, we have a prep update from him. Roman Fritz announced his first contest of 2022, plus we have a physique update from him, plus much more. Hope you guys really enjoy this video. What's up, desktoppers? Now, before I get into this one, I want to encourage you guys, if you like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. And this weekend, I'm covering the Orlando Pro. That will likely be the next video that comes out, a preview and prediction show for that. And then the next video after that should be, unless there's any breaking news, my new podcast with Brett Wilkin, Nathan D'Asher, and Martin Fitzwater. So make sure you check that one out. It's a great show. It goes for about 2 hours, the first episode. So I think you guys will really enjoy that one. A lot of bodybuilding talk, but also a bit of off-topic talk as well. But let's start with our first news story and our first update. And actually, the first 3 updates on this video are all from Patrick Tour clients. So it's pretty much, this is half of the Patrick Tour show here. And the first client of his is Keone Pearson, who's doing the 212 at the Texas Pro. He posted up this photo looking shredded pretty much at 5.3 weeks out, he says. So I don't know if that's 5 weeks and 3 days. I'm assuming that's probably what it is, not 3/10 of an actual week. And you can see here the glutes have come in. The glutes are, maybe you wouldn't call them quite shredded yet, but they're really close to being that, because we don't really normally see this level of detail in Keone's glutes at all, let alone over 5 weeks out. So I think this is a great sign for Keone Pearson. I mean, regardless, even if he comes in a little bit flat, I still think he'll have tons of pop to his physique if he does have that slightly better conditioning. So if he can bring it in razor sharp and then still fill out and look pretty full on stage, he is going to be very dominant, and he's going to be very impressive and very hard to beat for a lot of guys at that 212 Olympia. People are sort of sleeping on him a little bit based on how he showed up at last year's Olympia, but I think this year will be a whole different story. And I think he's out to really prove it, not only to everyone else, but more so to himself. So let me know how you think Keone will go at that Olympia if he brings in his all-time best and really nails his conditioning. The next update from another Patrick Tour client is James Hollingshead at 11 weeks out, looking really impressive, 286 pounds in the morning. The legs here look really impressive as well. Very full and very separated for this far out. And James still has obviously a fair way to go in his prep, but I'm very encouraged to see the way he's looking here. And his midsection looks damn tight, and overall just very impressive. So I can't wait to see what James Hollingshead brings in 11 weeks time at the Arnold Classic UK. Now, the next physique update's a little bit of a different one, because it's from a guy who's moving from Open all the way down to Classic. Now, we don't normally see this. We've seen Regan Grimes do this in the past semi-successfully. He won the New York Pro doing that, then came into the Olympia, and I think he placed around 10th place, but that was when Classic was sort of in its infancy. So I think the physique that Regan Grimes brought to the Olympia stage that year would not place top 10 now in the Classic Physique Olympia, because Classic Physique has just improved a lot. This guy has plenty of muscle. If he's able to get down and not really flatten out his physique and sort of change the way he looks, if he's able to just sort of bring the conditioning in more and, just sort of take a little bit of muscle off here and there, I think he can absolutely look insane in the Classic Physique. Now, Patrick Tour posted this up and said, Florian working very hard to keep pushing his weight down into the Classic limits. And then he said, hashtag Classic debut, hashtag France, because he's from France. And then I saw Phil Viz posted a little bit below, because I was actually going to reach out to Patrick myself and ask this same question. He said, how far away is he? And then Patrick Tour answered, he said, as close as 7 as far as 11. We'll see how his weight comes down. He was actually talking about weeks out, and Phil Viz was referring to how far away is he in terms of the weight caps. And then Patrick Tour said, sorry, he said, I was referring to weeks out. He's around 15 to 17 pounds over limit. So we don't know what show he's actually going to do yet. It depends how fast his weight comes down, but he's, like he said, 15 to 17 pounds over the limit, which would be probably about 7 to 8 kilograms. So he's still a fair way off, but you can see there in the glutes in this photo, and the hamstring from the side and stuff, there's still a little bit on there that he can take off in terms of water and a little bit of body fat, but he is pretty well conditioned for this far out. So he's going to have to really push his conditioning very, very hard. But if he comes in razor sharp with this same sort of shape, obviously a little bit flatter, but he can probably, take off 10 pounds off his physique overall, maybe 12 pounds, then just flatten out a bit more and then fill back up. So he could probably come in maybe 10 pounds below this. And 10 pounds below this isn't going to look tiny, I don't think, or even 8 pounds below this if he can really, really dry out hard, get a little bit more body fat off, and then fill back up. He can look very, very good. And I want to get your guys' opinion in the comments below. How well can Florian actually do in Classic Physique? Can he be a top 5 contender at that Classic Physique Olympia? Or is he one of these guys that just isn't going to look as good once they drop that extra little bit of weight? Let me know in the comments below on that. Now, next story about Roelly Winklaar. We have an update from his coach, Ahmad Askar. I was actually watching Bob Chicarillo's Instagram live that he did with Nathan D'Asha, Brandon Curry, and Ahmad Askar. And here's what Ahmad Askar had to say about Roelly Winklaar, and I'll react to this.
Heard from him in a while, but what's Roelly Winklaar up to? Anybody hear from Roelly?
Roelly's recovering now.
Recovering. So did he have some work done, surgery or whatnot, or?
No, just a little injury in his shoulders, but everything is fine. He's recovering, and like in 2 weeks, he will be back on track and preparing for something soon.
So that's great news. 2 weeks, he'll be back on track and preparing for something very soon. So I don't know if that means he's starting his prep in 2 weeks, but the fact that he's preparing for something very soon, we've got, over 6 months till the end of the year. If he's preparing for something very soon, I'm assuming it's going to be something right near the end of the year. There's a lot of European shows. I reckon he'll actually go and hit some of those European shows, try to qualify for the 2023 Mr Olympia, and then hit that. I don't know if he'll do any of the shows that actually qualify him for this year's Mr Olympia, but I'd love to see it if Roelly can actually do that. But let's listen on.
Yeah, he was kind of like riding high for a while, then all of a sudden he kind of started disappearing in the placings, and we didn't see the same physique. What was going on with Roelly?
Yeah, he had medication issues with his belly or stomach, and that was like making him back a little bit. So everything is back on track now, and
good.
He will be in 2 weeks in.
So great news that, I suppose at least now we know what was wrong with Roelly Winklaar last year. But in fact, he said he's having medication issues with his stomach. So I don't know if he was taking something that was affecting his stomach or what was actually going on, or if he just had gut issues that were affecting him and affecting his digestion maybe. I don't know exactly. But I'm glad we're actually hearing this, because this is the first time we've heard a reason as to why Roelly Winklaar wasn't at his best last year. I thought it was just because he had time off training and maybe he didn't give himself enough time to come back at his best. But it seems like he had a shoulder injury, he had some gut issues. Hopefully that's all sorted out now. He's fully recovered. He looks very healthy in this latest photo. And I actually first looked at this photo and thought, wow, Roelly's downsized. And yeah, he probably is downsized a little bit in this photo compared to how he normally looks when he's fully like loaded and huge and super filled out. But when you actually look at his arms and you look at everything, he's actually still a massive, massive dude right now. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Can Roelly Winklaar not only get back to the Olympia, but get back to his sort of top 6 Mr Olympia form? Next update, we've got one from Roman Fritz. He confirms his first contest of 2022, plus we get a little physique update from him as well. The contest is going to be the Yamamoto Pro in Italy, if what he actually said is correct. He said he's 11 weeks out and 1 week into his prep. And as you can see, he looks great here. His legs are definitely a standout on his physique. The upper body, though, seems to have come up a little bit as well from when he last competed, especially his back. His back actually looks a little bit more filled out, especially in that back relaxed pose as well. So if he can come in, with his upper body being pretty full, at least full enough, he always brings razor sharp conditioning. I think he's going to do very, very well in 2022, and I can't wait to see what he brings to the stage. Then in our last big story of this video, we have a Big Ramy sighting. Several guys actually put up Instagram stories and videos and reels and all that sort of stuff that were training with him the last couple of days. Now, I don't know if this means he's just got back into the gym or he's just going to a more public gym right now, or what it is. It seems like he's gone to a world gym. But his friend actually reached out to him. His name's Radwan Kawati. I don't know if I pronounced that wrong or not. Guessing I probably have. He confirmed this chest training video with Big Ramy was recent, and by the video, Big Ramy looks a little bit downsized. Now, we saw those photos come out, when was it, maybe a month and a half ago or whatever, where he still looked absolutely huge halfway through Ramadan. Now, there's been questions whether that's actually recent photos or not. It's hard to say really if they were recent or not. He still had obviously half of Ramadan to do, where you can't actually eat or drink during daylight hours. So perhaps he sort of got off training and didn't sort of hit the gym as much around that time. And then we had all the controversy around the Pittsburgh Pro. Apparently he couldn't fly. He didn't have access to a phone. So who knows what was actually going on then. So maybe he wasn't training over that period of time as well. But I'm not really concerned, because Big Ramy, as long as he trains for this Olympia, now he's got, just under 6 months or something around there for the Olympia. He trained for last year's Olympia and won it with 3 months of training. So he has plenty of time. If he's getting into his training and really getting into sort of, I suppose, the prep mindset at 6 months out of the Olympia, I'm sure Big Ramy will be more than fine. And he knows he can't just be equal to other guys this year. He needs to really blow people out of the water in terms of the way he looks, because obviously not showing up at Jim Mannion's Pittsburgh Pro and all that sort of stuff is not going to do you any favors in terms of getting the nod and getting the Mr. Olympia nod, because a lot of people say that as long as you don't knock out the Mr. Olympia champion, then, Mr. Olympia champion won't lose. But I don't think Big Ramy has that sort of grace, at least in 2022. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Will Big Ramy show up on stage at the 2022 Mr. Olympia? And will he win the 2022 Mr. Olympia if he does? Let me know what you think in the comments below about that. And I wanted to give one shout out on this video as well to Terrence Ruffin. He got engaged to a wellness competitor named Tiffany, soon to be Tiffany Ruffin, obviously. And Terrence Ruffin went all out using some of that Arnold Classic money to give this proposal and buy that ring, because that is pretty extravagant and makes all of us other dudes look pretty bad with whatever way we propose. So congrats to Terrence Ruffin and his partner Tiffany, and hope you guys enjoy your engagement and are happy for many, many years to come. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you guys like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, including all my coverage of the 2022 Orlando Pro and the new podcast that's coming out very, very soon on this channel. So that's it for me. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.